This creation and elevation, back with another back with another video. If you like the content or you like this video, subscribe, comment, share. We're trying to grow the channel. You know how it is, YouTube grind. So one thing you're gonna face a lot when you elevate and improve your life is people trying to bring up your past or drag you down with your past. And one thing I like to establish is when you change and you shift and you develop new habits, you become a new being, you're not the same person. Any mistakes that you've made in the past, anything that you've done in the past, any past habits, it doesn't define you. You aren't your past. So the reason why I say people will try to bring your past up is like, say you used to do this one certain thing with a group of people, right? So let's say I used to kiss, well, let me use this example because this is the most down to earth example and most close to home example I have. So say you kissed the Mary Jane, right? You kissed the Grim Reaper. And you have a select group of people who you guys come together and you guys kiss Mary Jane together, right? So what happens one day is if you branch out and you're like, yo, I don't want to kiss Mary Jane anymore. One day, these people are going to see that you're not kissing the Mary Jane anymore. And you want to know what they're going to say? They're going to say, oh, why you don't kiss Mary Jane anymore? Oh, I stopped. And you know, sometimes in our path, we might stop doing something that isn't good for us. Well, it wasn't good for me. I'm not speaking for anybody else. It wasn't good for me. We might stop doing something that's not good for us or that's bad for us. And people will try to discourage us or they'll try to make us, they'll doubt us. Like, it's like in their head, they're thinking, oh, what are you talking about? Like, why are you doing that? Because some people feel like when you make that change and that shift of betterment for yourself, that you feel like you're better than them. You ever been hit by the, oh, you think you all that? That's called projection. So projection is basically, if I feel some type of way, I'm going to put it on you to hide the fact that I feel that type of way. If I feel like I'm not worth anything, I'll make sure you feel like you're worth nothing as well, or make you feel like you're below me. Even though you're not, I make you feel like that. That's what projection is. Projection is a type of gaslighting. Don't let people project on you because it can lower your vibration. Don't let them boys do that to you. But like, these people will see that and they'll try to bring up the past to discourage you, or these people will see you change and shift and they'll bring up the past to remind you. Like, especially like now, like for me, people always bring up my past. People always bring up the stuff that I used to do. But instead of letting it bring me down and have me like be like, oh damn, I used to do this, I'm so ashamed of myself. Anytime somebody tells me, I laugh. You wanna know why I laugh? Because it's like, you're gonna get to a point in your journey where people are gonna tell you what you were doing and it's gonna be funny to you. Like, you're gonna be like, what? Like, what? Because you're not gonna be the same person. You're like gonna be unrecognizable. Like, you're gonna hear that stuff that you were doing and you're like, wow, I was really doing that, bro. No, and some people, even people have tried to make that a negative thing. Like, some people seeing that bringing up my past doesn't affect me, and I'll laugh about it or joke or I'll just talk about the situation like it's something that doesn't bother me, because it doesn't. You have to make peace with the past, because if you run from the past will always be behind you and you won't have a future or present because you're too focused on that past behind you. But you got to hug and embrace that past so then you could create your future off of your past. So you use your past creates your present creates your future, but you can also use your past to intentionally make decisions in your present to make sure you get to where you want to be in the future. So I even have people try to flip that on me. Like, they're like, oh, you're clearly not ashamed of what you've done. You clearly have no remorse for what you've done. You see, you're laughing. You see, it's because they want you to feel bad for yourself. Don't let these people make you feel bad for yourself. You changed, you made that decision to change, so stick with it. And you know, sometimes we might fall off into that bad habit, and people may see that, and people may be like, oh, you see, I told you, bro, there's that. But people don't define who we are. We define who we are. We're co-creators of this reality, you know? After Yahweh, you feel me? We create we create our plane, our reality. Because, you know, the decisions that you make have a butterfly effect. And then all of that, you know, it determines your future. If I invest in stocks, in the next 20 years, I might be a millionaire, or 5 years or 10 years. You never know how it goes. You know, if I start a business now, maybe in 5 years, I'll become a millionaire. You never know. It's a whole butterfly effect. It's just the decision that you make. What you want for yourself, you put it out there in the real world, and you let it work for you. Work on it, you grind, you keep on going, and you win. Don't ever let the past define you, because the past is to teach you lessons. Don't ever get stuck in the past. Don't ever let people remind you of your past. And if people constantly remind you of your past, and it's not in a way of, oh, I'm proud of you, or you inspire me, or, you know, it's knowing you. Because like some people, knowing you like in the way you were and seeing that change and shift in you, it motivates them. It lets them know like, yo, I can do the same thing for myself. I just have to work for it. So if it's not in that positive way, and you know, you could feel that it's in that downplaying, you know, looking down upon me, or want me to feel sorry for myself type of way, remove yourself from these people. People will always remind you of your past. You want to know why? Because your future looks good. People will always try to put your past in your face when your present and your future is good. I ain't never heard people rubbing a bum's past in their face. I've never heard, I've never seen somebody who's unsuccessful get their past rubbed in their face, or somebody who's been on the same thing for a certain amount of years. They don't get that rubbed in their face. It's when that shifted, when there's a change and there's a shift, you know, and they come up and they become higher than that person that they used to be. That's when people want to, oh, you were like this, you were like that. I can't believe this, I can't believe that. That's when people start doing that. It's because they see you coming up. So to stop that bright future that they see ahead of you, they want to remind you of the past. So you thinking back on the past, and you all those, because your emotions is energy, whether you like to admit it or not. That's why when people get nervous, you see them twitch, you see them move, it's because they're getting that energy out. So you all know what that does. You get that negative, low vibration, and you kind of start blocking your blessings, because now you're not operating in that high plane you was operating in. You know, happiness, joy, peace, creativity, all that. Don't let people drag you down with your past, because you are not defined by your past. There's certain aspects where it's like, yeah. There's certain things, let's be realistic, like your past doesn't define you, but there's certain things that will follow you due to your past, depending on how severe it is. There is certain boundaries and lines that you cannot cross. Let's make that known. Like, there's certain things that we all know. I feel like it's unspoken. Can't really say it on YouTube, but there's certain stuff that you should not do, because that would just go on with you for life. You don't want to end up on a list or in jail. So be careful with what you dibbling and dabbling in. There's certain stuff that you can't recover from. So pick your battles, please. And I'm not promoting any type of crime, you know. Just, I'm letting you know, I got to be realistic. I can't just be like, you know, past doesn't define who you are. It doesn't. But like, there's certain aspects and certain decisions you make in life where it's just like, and I can't really say these decisions on YouTube because I might get the video taken down. But any serious offenses, like serious, well, I'm talking about like serious, where like if we got 20 people, all of them would look at you like this, you know? But other than that, don't let your past define who you are. You could always become new and always become better. Don't let these people in that bucket, you know, you a crab, you know? I'm going to tell you, when you in a tank, you're only going to grow to a certain size because the tank is a limit and your body has to adapt to that limit. But when you are in the ocean, you will continuously grow bigger and bigger because you have more space. You have more things you could put your hands on, improve, and touch. So don't ever forget that. Don't ever think that your past is going to be you. You can always change you. You could always change your present, and then in that you have a good past. You know, a lot of people, our past ain't sweet because, you know, it's our first time experiencing this life. You know, we haven't been through the works. We don't really understand things to an extent. But for people like me, if you ain't really do, like I'm specifically talking for people like me as well. If you had a good past, you feel me? Nobody could use a good past against you, you know? But for like people like me, people who've done things that they're not very proud of, or, you know, things that you can't really talk about, you know, or things that just make people perceive you a certain way, or, you know, people would consider bad, or, you know, unjust, or, you know, you just wicked. You were doing things that you weren't meant to do because that's all you knew, you know. I would like to say that, you know, your past doesn't define you, bro. Even if the people don't believe that you changed, you sit there with yourself every day, putting the work in. Don't let anybody tell you you ain't a leader. Don't let anybody tell you you haven't changed, because you're not in there with me. You're not in the battle. They're not crying with you. They're not starving with you. They don't have that hunger like you do, that ambition to be better. So don't let these people hinder you. It's creation and elevation. I'm gone.